Yeah, we back outside. Hold on. What is this, bro? It's 96 degrees outside right now. I know lately I haven't been recording because I haven't had no interest in recording, honestly. Today I just decided, let me just come outside and get some quote-unquote cool, hot air. That's what you got. Feel me? At work, man. You know, regular. I have a solid 10 minutes. I guess I can fuck around a little bit. You feel me? Just a little bit. Don't you ever fuck around. Just a little bit, you know on my break. Feel me? Oh, that's a fact. That it's a few, it's a few topics that we could talk on. Feel me? Yeah, I can't talk about. I wanted to talk about some other shit, but I'm not gonna talk about that right now, bro. Whatever. So there's a few subjects that I'll be recording. Yesterday, I spoke about space and time, or space-time. You feel me? That's what we spoke about. Today, I want to speak about news. I don't like Coca-Cola when there's no smell in it. I hate that shit. It doesn't have the smell it's supposed to have. It's just like damp. Like there's nothing to it. I was expecting the smell, but I'm not smelling the smell. And that's why I'm gonna drink out of that. If I don't smell that Coca-Cola smell, I don't like it. It's a smell that get me going. Anyway, look, man. That's big. Yeah, the devil be working overtime trying to get the best of you. You feel me? I'm a man of the Lord, but I still can't shake the devil. You know what I mean? Side note, sometimes people, we just be men, man. We just men. We do the things that we gotta do. We don't complain to nobody. You feel me? We wear our sleeve on our shoulders, blue collar. You feel me? Who's there to complain to? And who's gonna listen? You feel me? That's how you gotta carry yourself. That's how we men. So it's like, there's nobody to really complain to. So when I do my shit, I do everything with pride. You feel me? I don't want nobody to play me like a fool. You could do it behind my back, because I can't do nothing when you do something behind my back. Now, if you do something behind my back and I retaliate, I will only be speculating. You feel me? And people can hold you up to that. Oh, it could be this person, it could be that person. But it is what it is, man. When we men work, and that's that. And if you're not, it's like if it doesn't make sense, you just back away from it. But that's just what I'm trying to say with that. That goes right into the topic itself. You see, this is a video on YouTube about a baby father and a baby mother. I guess the baby mother has multiple kids by multiple men. Hold on. The baby mother has multiple kids by multiple men. So one of the baby father came over to see his son, but before he was coming over, the baby mother was recording through the window saying that I'm gonna expose him because everybody think he's a good father, but he's really not. He's coming here to bring food for his son, and he doesn't bring food for the rest of my children. She said my children, so which meaning the rest of the other children did not belong to him. So he was bringing food for his son alone. You feel me? There's an original clip, and everybody else is making a joke out of it as comedians. And you have live audition about it, and people are speaking about it, and people, some people like, well, that's lame. This nigga's supposed to bring the food for the rest of the children. Let me finish the story though. So the man came with the food for his son and his son alone, and she was like, well, how you gonna bring food for your son and you ain't bring food for the rest of my children? He's like, huh? He's like, hey, stop playing, man. Don't start this shit again. He's just like, no, I'm serious, man. I'm serious. You're supposed to bring food for the rest of them. How is he going to eat? And everybody else is watching him, and you didn't bring the food for... And it's like... And this is what she was saying, you feel me? And everybody just... people are making live and reports about it and everything else like that. You feel me? I just feel like... It's... Most women, right? First of all, I'm going to go with his opinion first. We're going to go through his opinion. He said that that is your kids and this is my son. I'm feeding my son. You feel me? Understandable. She's supposed to at least have enough money for his... She's supposed to at least... The same way you asking him, you're supposed to at least ask the baby's father of the other kids too. At least that's from his point of view. Her point of view is that you should, if you're gonna bring food for your son, you should consider the rest of my children too. If you're gonna bring food for your son, and I'm like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you feel me? Now I'm gonna go into my point of view because I'm not even gonna waste time with it. I believe that he should have. No woman should have to tell you to. As a man, if I was going out with the mother of my child, and she has multiple kids. Which, you feel me? I don't want to get into detail, but if you're going out with a woman who has multiple kids, and then you have a child with her, and you're going there to feed your son, it is in the best interest of you to bring food for the rest of the other children too. There will be no need for you to bring food for your son alone, and then the other kids is watching him eat. That creates animosity between the kids, especially if you're the kind of person that do it more often than not. So if you're the kind of person that bring food to your son once a day or once a week, they know that once a week you bring him some food that they want to eat too, and maybe their father is not doing that for them. Now you creating animosity between between the siblings, because they will feel like you are the one that is spoiled and they don't get to eat, and they always got to watch their son eat. So sometimes they'll be mean to him when they don't have to be mean to him. So no woman should have to tell you to bring food for the rest of her other children, because you know she got other children too. You let it pass by. Because you know she got other children too. You're not oblivious. You're not oblivious to her other children. You're just not oblivious to it. You know about her other children already. So I think it's in your best interest to bring food for the other children. That in terms, we create a better bond between the two. They get to treat your son or your daughter special because they know that that is not my daddy. But when he comes here, he always brings food for the rest of us. And that's his main son. So the love that they have for you for bringing the food in will be transferred on to your son too, and your son will gain greater respect among his own siblings. You feel me? So no woman should have to tell you, oh, if you're gonna bring, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna bring the food for the kid so that the kid can eat it in the car? Or are you gonna bring the food for the kid so he can eat it with his siblings so they can feel it together? You feel me? If they're not feeling together and not feeling fulfilled, you only separating them through envy. You feel me? This is what they did with the slaves and everything else like that, where they treated the house nigga special from the field nigga. You feel me? So the field nigga was always watching and envious of the house nigga while he was working hard. The house nigga was right there just chilling. He ain't even sweating. You feel me? Well, that'll be the same kind of feeling that you create an animosity between the two. You create an animosity between siblings, and you have one that's eating good and the other one father's not showing up, and you telling her, well, that ain't my kids. I know over time it gets overwhelming. You feel me? Because sometimes you probably just got food for let it pass. Hold on, let's see. I gotta start walking. I know eventually in time it gets overwhelming because you probably got food for your son and your son alone, but it's like you should always have that into consideration. If you're going to go there, you should always buy food for all of them. Even though they are not your child, it should be something of a responsibility for you because it's in the benefit of your child. You feel me? Because you don't want them to take their anger on your child because they always see him eating good because you decide to feed him good. It's not your fault that you like to feed your kids good. You feel me? But it's amazing that most men was... I felt like she was wrong for suggesting that to him. A woman got to know when to speak to a man. You cannot tell a man. She's not even in. She would be wrong to tell him to do such a thing. He should want to do it. She shouldn't be the one that initiates such a thing. This is something that is of courtesy. This is something that he can do. If he does not do it, he wouldn't be held accountable for doing it. But he should want to do it, you feel me? For those purposes that I laid out. But the way she spoke to him, she got to know. Women have to know how to speak to a man. You have to know how to get the best out of a man. That's what a woman does. You can't just talk to a man anyhow and start yelling at him. I'm going to bark right back at you and make you feel little. Like, fuck out of here. Stay in your place. You feel me? And that's just how it is. If you don't know how to talk to a man, move out of the way. Move on. You feel me? But the way she spoke to him, it's like, what are you doing? Hold on. Yeah, the way she spoke to him, you're not going to extract the best out of him. If you're a woman, you got to know how to speak to a man. Your very job and your very nature is to extract the best out of him, the greatness out of him. Now, if she would have told him, like, hey, look, man, every time when you bring food for your child, the rest of them feel sad because they be looking at him funny now. I think the best thing for you to do is to bring food for all of them, or take him to the car and let him eat in the car. But if you want him to eat in the house, bring food for all of them so they don't feel bad, or they don't take it out on the little kid and think that they're being picked on. She has to know how to articulate that to the man so he can get to be like, oh, okay, He might say, damn, what happened to the baby's father? You know that nigga ain't shit, You tell him, but you have to bring the best out of him. You need to know how to speak to a man so he can want to do it. But if you just yelling and what do you think? You're going to have a yelling match with somebody that come on, you can't do that. As a man, we not going to take it. We just not. No man in their right mind is going to take such a thing from a woman. You know what I mean? So if the fact that he denied that, he's not wrong for doing it. But if you want to take it to another metrosphere, you know what I mean? Another level of manhood, let it pass. Another level of manhood. This is what you need to do. You feel me? You need to think in that advanced stage. Be like, oh, if I bring food for these kids, they're going to see me. They're going to like me. They know if I'm coming. They know if I come, I'm bringing food for all of them. So in turn, the happiness that they're going to show is going to transfer right into my son. And my son is going to have a higher value among them. And they will always look out for him. You feel me? And this is how you got to think sometimes. You're doing it for your son, but at the same time, you're hurting him when you don't think of the group as a whole. And that's something that some men are very selfish in, and they're not thinking in that advance. And it's because of the woman sometimes, because she just talking too aggressively to him, and in out of rebellious state, he's going to fight it in the way he knows best. It's like, yo, I'm just doing it for him. I'm not doing it for nobody. You feel me? I be going through the same thing at work. Some girls who, they be overstepping their boundaries, that you got to just put them in their place and be like, look, this is, you feel me? You can't stop being a hypocrite. You feel me? Like, courtesy. That's all it is. Like, you just gotta be courteous of. Hold on, let's see what time it is. No, I think I probably got like 5 minutes. Because we supposed to go on break. We don't even go. The time that I usually go on break and we time ourselves to come back, they pushing it because people want to just. That's crazy. I don't even want to talk about it. But it's courteous. You just got to be courteous. When you speak to people, you have to articulate the information to them so that they can hear the message and so they can extract the best out of it. You feel me? But if you just yelling at people, but if you just yelling at people and you think that the yelling is going, you just dismissive and just you're not giving the person a chance, you're not going to extract nothing out of them. You are not. Then it's like the man is never going to respect you. You feel me? This is why he was just standing outside arguing with her all day. Then she finally took the food and threw it away. After all that argument, why would you take the food and throw it away because she was bitter now? You feel me? Don't use your strength like that, baby girl. Your strength is in the way you think and how you articulate yourself. Your strength is in your breath. You got to use that strength. You got to use that power to extract the best out of him. If you say that to him, he will never argue with you anymore.